Yeah, speaking of interesting things, however, I think this is a good, great, amazing thing. I'll be honest, though, it's a thing that I didn't actually believe was real. What I mean by that is we are getting a Batgirl movie, and it's been in development for a very, very long time. However, I've not believed that this is actually a project until now. I say that because this movie was announced in mid-ish, early to mid 2017, right around the time that Joss Whedon was brought on board to do the reshoots for Justice League. Warner Brothers signed Joss Whedon on to do Batgirl, and then once Justice League started not going their direction, they're just like, oh, we'll pull you off Batgirl. You can go back to Batgirl once you're done with these Justice League reshoots. To which, even then, I was like, no, he's not doing a Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
That's a cover for why they're bringing him in. This Batgirl thing, he's not actually working on it. And sure enough, after Justice League came out, about a month or two later, Joss Whedon departs Batgirl movie. And then we've heard basically nothing since then. So I was always of the opinion that that was just a smokescreen that the studio came up with of why Joss Whedon is magically working on Justice League and why he just happens to be in the studio or in the proximity of the Justice League movie. However, I think it was a few months back we got Christina Hodson, who wrote Birds of Prey and is writing the Flash movie, is working on the script. Well, now we've taken another massive step forward in that we have the directors now attached to it. And I say directors because it's the directing duo who brought us the most recent Bad Boys movie, Bad Boys for Life, which have not seen it yet, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. A lot of people are claiming that this is actually their favorite of the entire franchise, okay, quick nitpick here. Y'all should have bet on yourself, Bad Boys here. You should have just called this one Bad Boys 3, and then the next one, because you're doing another one, you should have called that one Bad Boys for Life. Come on. Come on, guys. You missed a perfectly good opportunity here. This to me means, oh, wow, you actually are working on this project. And this project will actually be HBO Max exclusive, not for theaters. But about that, though, will HBO Max exist at that point, or will this be one of the first movies that'll appear on the new Discovery HBO Max streaming service? Because I know Josh is giving me this look right now of like he thinks this is a bad idea, but Josh, think about it. What HBO Max movies have come out that also didn't release in theaters? See, they need original movies. They need original movies as well as shows.
You're right, but like...
Static is going to be on HBO Max.
Really? And that's it?
The Static movie will be at HBO Max. Blue Beetle's HBO Max, I believe. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, okay. And hear me out, okay? So, real quick. Directors for Bad Boys for Life. Haven't seen the movie yet. Heard great things, but yeah, sure. Let's throw them in this. That's why not. Why not? Sure. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of worse decisions you could make. So it's at this point we're just happy it's happening.
I'm very happy, but I'll get into that.
No.
Follow my train of thought.
Stop. I think the message that I'm getting from Blue Beetle, Static, and Batgirl being HBO Max exclusive, to me that says we don't want our like unique, quote unquote progressive. I don't want to use the word progressive here, but like like our diverse cast. We don't want them to be in theaters.
See.
Because we don't believe in them.
See, I interpret it different. I interpret it as you and I are big comic fans and know the material. If I ask my parents or some of my non-comic friends, who is Blue Beetle, who is Static, we would know Static, or people of our generation might know Static from the TV show. But if I'm HBO, I got to be thinking about all quadrants. The older demographic does not know who Static Shock is. They don't know who Blue Beetle is. They know the name Batgirl, but if you ask, who is Batgirl? They'd be like, well, Batman's assistant, but they wouldn't be able to tell you more than likely that's Barbara Gordon, or what their skill set is. So I get that. And for your not as big properties, you would want to put on HBO Max, and then if they get a lot of foot traffic, then for the sequels, then you can put those on into theaters and whatnot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's definitely when you do it that way, you run the risk, at least in my mind, you run the risk of making your audience do homework before you see a movie in the theaters. You know what I mean?
I mean, in this day and age, everyone kind of, at least in my vision, you've got people like that will do some research, quote unquote, research ahead of time, the bare minimum. Or you've got certain people like my parents that don't really do a ton of research going in it, but they expect to have the blanks filled in when they see the movie. And a good movie should do that. And I trust that these movies, like a lot of people that saw Into the Spider-Verse, didn't know who Miles Morales was before the movie. You don't have to know who the character is and their full life story before you see their movie. I think it's, if the trailer hooks you enough and the premise seems interesting enough and the movie does its job, then you're involved. Like,
okay.
we've seen some good streaming movies from properties that we don't necessarily know a ton about, but through the process of good storytelling, we'll care about those characters.
Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase what I was saying then. Because you're right that but I was more concerned that they're going to try to build on the stories that they tell on HBO Max without filling in the blanks and just being like, hey, yeah, well, there's movies on HBO Max, you can go watch those, so that you're informed. You know what I mean? That's I think I'm worried about.
Well, you mean like what Disney Plus does right now?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think this will be connected to the movies. I think this will be their own separate thing, which raises the question of, like, who's Batgirl's Batman for this? Is it going to be Keaton? Is it going to be Affleck? Is it going to be yet another new Batman? That raises a whole bunch of questions here. However, I choose to look with optimism here because my project got canceled 4 years ago with a Nightwing movie. This is the first sign of life. It is a desperate sign of life, I will give you that. But a key person in the life of Barbara Gordon, and has been almost from the get-go, has been one Senor Dick Grayson. I don't know what that was, but Senor Dick Grayson, if he's not in the first movie, he's got to be at least in the second Batgirl movie because she's such a big part of his life, and vice versa. Josh is just...
Bro, you were reaching so hard.
I don't think I am. I really don't. Also, let's just say Batgirl will not be the last time we're mentioning her today, as she might show up later in somebody's pitch. But no, Nightwing and Batgirl are so inexplicably linked together, as I actually have a Batgirl pop on my desk at any given moment. The two characters are so inexplicably linked together and have been so long that even if it's not a buddy cop movie, which, oh dear God, if we got a Nightwing and Batgirl team-up movie that are just two squabbling exes trying to get a job done together, yes please. Even if we don't get that, there's no way you don't at least have some passing mention to him, or like they work together in some capacity. Come on, this at least cracks the door open a little bit for Nightwing.
Look, okay,
before there was like a 5 to 0% chance of Nightwing ever showing up on the big screen. Now it's like an 8 to 9% chance, and that's like a huge stock market rise to me.
We're gonna take Dick Grayson to the moon.
No, it's like the Obi-Wan meme, one of many, of like, no, R2, we need to be going up, not down. We need to be moving closer.
Look, dude, as long as they don't try to squeeze in the much hated story arc where Barbara Gordon and Bruce end up together. That's all I care about. Like, don't bring that in here. Get that trash out of here.